So, without further ado, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce This is another in a series of live broadcasts enjoying the creative sounds of music and harmony. Hope you enjoy. Don't touch that dial. Keep it locked. Tuned in and turned on.
Welcome to the Talk Dirty to Me podcast with the Maestro. Not just numbers, not just stats. It's about what they mean. And now, your host, the Maestro.
Hello and welcome to I guess this will be the last episode known as Talk Dirty to Me before the switchover happening in September. So let's do it the right way. Welcome to Talk Dirty to Me with your boy, me. Okay, good. I'm wearing out that jet. Took it over to Lagos, Nigeria. West coast of Africa. Got a chance to hit my favorite restaurant, or one of my favorite restaurants. It's probably my favorite restaurant in Lagos, and that's Nook by Alada. It's not too far from the coast. Most of my old heads who listen to me know I'm not a restaurant guy, but this place really feels like you're at somebody's house. It's a garden setting, beautiful, cool nights, awesome service, awesome food. You can hear the ambience of the town. Good nights, you can hear the Atlantic Ocean against the shore. Just really, really nice. And I got a chance to fatten up a little bit there before I checked out this run. And I might have to borrow that jet just on the side trip to go back to do some scouting so I can hit Nook again and, get some of my favorite grub on. In that run, I got a chance to see a player who currently ranked at number 1 on the international side. And again, all my old heads know I do not look at rankings. I do not look at anything before I check out a run. I don't want to know who's what. I don't want to know who's who. I want to see you for myself, make my judgment, write my notes, and I will go back then and I'll stat you up later. But this is one that it's kind of hard to argue anything other than they got this one right. Alhaji Mo Osborne was probably the most impressive player on the floor. Strong on ball skills, very quick ups, always look to finish at the rim. And I'm not talking about the dunks, just the fact that he was always willing to finish at the rim. And for a cat rocking at 6'7", 239 pounds, he definitely has the athleticism where if he decides to make a move, there's nothing that's going to be in his way. And he showed that time and time again throughout the game. I also liked his hands in the low defense. Now, once he learns to rotate, once he learns to move his body into a point where he can use his athleticism to work with his strong peripheral and his strong strength, it will be absolutely amazing to see what he'll be able to do. And that's going to come with some coaching, some guidance, working with some other players who are a little bit more used to making their way, making their open floor happen, making those other things move for them. Well, I think once he gets around more players like that on a regular basis, I just think by osmosis, he's going to adapt a lot of things. It's going to be really nice. The other couple of needs that I would say right away, his post-up move. And a few episodes ago, I talked about posting up a shorter player, posting up a taller player. Being 6'7", he's probably going to be somewhere in the middle. He might get the mismatch every now and then. Now, the idea of his form was really good. I liked the way he called position. I liked the way he called for the ball away from the man. Even in a back post move, he was being front defended by the player that he had a couple of inches on. He basically had the classic back post move where he forearmed the guy right in front of him. He called for the ball high away from the strong side of the player. The only problem, and if he hadn't have done this a few times, I wouldn't make this comment. So hopefully this is going to be helpful. He did it very close to the rim, very close or very low in the post. When you do that, even at 6'7", you're bringing in another defender, and that defender is the backboard and the rim. When he put his hand up, of course, he's not that far away from the rim being at 10 feet. He's 6'7". His reach goes up. A bad pass becomes a turnover. The move to make there would be to reset his position in the post. Spin move away, get in front. Now front post your man. And when your man or your defender looks to refront you again, you wait and you replace. So let's say your defender comes around your right side to front you. Big mistake. As they go around my right side, as soon as they clear, I step to the space they just vacated. They're in motion. They get settled. Now I'm free in the post, and with his ups being so fast, that's definitely a 2 with violence. Once he learns little tricks like that, he can make his athleticism totally work for him. The other thing I would say is I like to see him a little faster in between action. And this is what I mean when I say that. On ball, very strong. Off ball, slow to the play. He played heavy. He played heavier than his physical appearance. But I think that comes with the decision-making process. Where am I? What am I doing? Where do I need to be? Also, you all know my caveat, correct? Maybe there was a lack of familiarity with the people he was running with, so he wasn't quite sure what they were going to do, so he did not want to get in the way. Cannot blame him for that at all. I really would like to get my eyes on him more just to get an idea of where his game will set him. I definitely see all the upside that is in the commentary in terms of what his abilities are and where they can definitely go. Again, Mo Osborne at 6'7", 239. Closest comp that I can make to him right now, once he starts getting his skill set together, would be a player like an Arthur Lattimore. If he can develop that IQ that Arthur has, if he can develop that awareness and that impact awareness like Arthur has, I can see him being that type of player and making a difference for whoever is lucky enough to have him. Hopefully this works out for him, and hopefully this will help him out as he looks to move forward and grow. Thank you for checking out this half of the Talk Dirty to Me podcast, and we'll be right back on the other side.
Thank you for listening to the Talk Dirty to Me podcast with the Maestro.
Want to get involved? Bring it. Drop in discord.gg/SimWorldNBA.
If you have the brain,
Join as a coach.
If you have the game,
Join as a player.
See the game, be the game. But now, back to Talk Dirty to Me with
The Maestro.
Once again, for the Soul Children's Dream section, y'all.
Let's get back to some wonderful sound.
Welcome to this half of the Talk Dirty to Me podcast. And it's something that we probably rephrase. There's something I have probably not talked about a lot so far this season, and that is drills. A lot of players tend to not take drills seriously. They kind of go through the motions, and those players immediately stand out in coaches' eyes because they're not working on the team building concepts and skills that we need. Drills are very, very important. Drills help you get down timing. They help you learn your teammates. More importantly, they help you to develop collective habits, practices, and procedures. If you and I have worked a drill, and I know how you pass me the ball, I know how you lead me, you know my speed, you know where I can be, you know how I can jump, you know how high I can jump. All those various things come into play once we're under fire in the game. I'm then better able to be in a position to help you feed me or me feed you, and we're able to capitalize on that chemistry. Chemistry generally is not just because two players magically work together well. It comes from awareness, the willingness to give to the other player, the willingness to do what you need to do to be available for your teammate and them for you. How do we measure this? Whenever you're working a particular drill, I've said this a lot over all the last pods, and I'll say it again. It is about intention, not just going through the motions to make coach happy, but what coach is looking for is how you go through those drills, the precision that you're looking for, the timing that you're looking for. And if you're ever not sure, it is very simple, family. Ask coach. What do you need me to do? How do you need me to go through this drill? Do the drills away from coach. Use the drills as a way to warm up. Take those extra steps to make yourself better so those drills will count, not just for practice, but as a platform for what you're going to use in a game. How do you think in the first days of the alley-oop, so many passes were so on point? Because in practice, it's happening there. Players are learning how their teammates work, how their teammates move. I know how high to feed you because I understand where your abilities are. Not just when you're fresh and we're walking into the gym, but after we've gone through an hour or 2 hours of hard practice and we're shooting around after. I know what you can do now because in the game, when it matters, it's going to happen there because it's natural. Lucky enough to play with two brothers who had that on the floor chemistry. And I think of that when I see the Hyman brothers play. I think of the Spencer brothers that I played with, how they would talk through their practices and talk through how they would work out. And I really enjoyed working out with them because they didn't speak as they were brothers in their own private language. I'm sure that was happening at some point, or at least I thought it was. But they were working through it as teammates. And it only made their connection on the floor so much stronger. And it was really nice to see and be a part of. I found out later they never talked basketball off the basketball floor. It was about their family. It was about taking care of their folks, everything else other than basketball, which made their connection on the basketball floor that much stronger. And in their way, taught us how to practice, taught us how to work together. We would practice our alley-oops. We would practice our bounce passes. We would practice our lead passes and breakouts and in transition ball. Why? Because when it came down to it, fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, everybody's tired. Everybody's stressed. Everybody's looking for that moment. You're going to fall back on all those things you did in practice. You train how you fight how you train. And that's exactly why drills are so important. Take them serious. Do what your coach is asking you to do. Ask your coach what they are looking for if you are unclear. Don't just go through the motions. So many of you are so talented and so gifted. There is no reason for you to go through the motions. This is your chance. This is your opportunity to build your game at your pace. Take advantage of it. Make it happen. We surely enjoy seeing it happen. Why not make the best of it, right? Thank you for listening to this episode of Talk Dirty to Me. What drills do you like? What drills do you feel really add value to your game, to your team's game? What drills would you like me to talk about? What drills would you like to hear about? Let's do it. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about this stuff. Let's all get better together. All right, family? And always remember, the most important thing you can ever know is this. The T100 beats everybody.
I mean, I didn't realize we were starting right now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again for checking out the Talk Dirty to Me podcast with the Maestro. Drop a tag below and give us a piece of your mind.
So, see you next time and talk dirty to me.